More of a serious note, because that one was more just hype and clickbait. But now is so first things first is CS from DWP. There's a Warframe Wiki Wednesday for you today. I'm gonna give you guys a wiki about Riven mods because with these new weapons out, I think there's a lot of excitement around it. I'm definitely excited. I have my own, 1-2s and to each his own and so on and so forth. But they are nonetheless some really good weapons. So I know there's going to be a lot of Riven trading going on, a lot of seeking out Rivens, a lot of bragging about Rivens, a lot of wanting Rivens, a lot of they're going to be a hot topic. So with that being said, this is for anybody looking who doesn't understand. Like, okay, how do I get a Riven mod? Where do I get a, so on and so forth? Let's go through it. So first things first, how do you get a Riven mod? Well, this is straight from the wiki. It says a single Riven mod is given to players upon completion of the War Within quest. Additional Riven mods can be acquired from, and it lists tactical alerts, gifts from the Lotus alerts, art gun Rivens are from the arbitrations, right? It's from the arbitration honors when you do arbitration missions and you go to the store with them. You can get companion Rivens from Cephalon Samaris, and you can also get them from sorties. Most of the times you're going to be getting them from sorties. Also, you can use Riven slivers, and we're going to get into that in a second. But let me clarify something with sorties because there's a lot of misconceptions about this. Right? Some people say 1%, 2%, 5%, 10%. No, this is straight from the wiki, okay? Melee Rivens have 8%. If you're going to get a Riven, these are the drop chances of them, right? Melee Rivens have 8.14% chance. Pistol Rivens, 7.61% chance. Rifle Rivens have a 6.79% chance. Kit Guns and Zaws have a 2% chance. Shotgun Rivens have a 1.36% chance. Okay? So now that that's out the way, now we got Riven. Now Riven mods can also be acquired by collecting Riven slivers, which can be obtained as rewards from opening Requiem relics. Right? They drop from somewhere else. I forgot exactly where they come from, but once you have enough of them, you only need 10 of them. You can basically go to Paladino and Ironwake, and she'll hand you a Riven mod. I don't know if she gives you a random Riven, but because it just says Riven mod, right? I honestly don't know. I'm gonna have to do because I have like 23 or something like that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna have to check that out. Unfortunately, I got comments turned off, but I'll log in. I'll log in on my phone and I'll check it out in just a second. But when you receive a, I'm not gonna go through the challenges because it's gonna basically hand you a challenge. You complete the challenge, and that's how you get the Riven. But basically, long story short, the way that Rivens work is because I had a buddy, he was having a lot of issues yesterday with people saying that they were selling veiled Riven mods, but they're maxed out. And we kind of laughed at him, but he was getting extremely frustrated, so I didn't want to like laugh at him. But for those who are saying that, like, that's not really how it works, because you can't max out a veiled Riven mod. Veiled means it's veiled, like you veil a face, it's covered up. When you unveil it, this is an unveiled Riven. It's unveiled. The veil has came off. You can see the Riven now, right? So when you have a veiled Riven, right, you complete a challenge, and when you complete the challenge, let's say you got a rifle Riven, these are different classes. What happens is if you have a rifle Riven, for example, it's going to assign you a random weapon upon unveiling it, right? So a rifle Riven can get you. It could get you a bow because anything that uses a rifle mod. This is the best way I can explain it. If you see rifle under the mod, that's the class of the weapon that could come from that Riven. So, for example, if I go to an Estilla, right? I think I have the Phage still. I might have deleted it. Yeah, I deleted it. But anyway, so if we go to the Estilla says shotgun, so it's going to take a shotgun Riven to get a Riven for the Estilla. You know what I mean? So if you want to steal a Riven, you got to unlock a shotgun Riven. If you want let's say you're dealing with sidearms, right? You got a catch moon, right? You're like, okay, well, you'll need a kit gun Riven to get a catch moon because these are a little special. They use pistol mods, but it's a modular weapon, right? Those and Zaws, like the Plague Crip Ass, the catch moon, rattle guts, any weapon that you custom made are going to take either a kit gun or a Zaw Riven mod. You know what I'm saying? But just because it says pistol doesn't mean that it takes a kit. Like, you can't put a kit gun on this. In the case of like any of the weapons that are quote unquote pre-built, that's when you're gonna use a pistol Riven mod and unveil that, and that's how you end up with pistol Riven mods. I hope that kind of makes sense. But just to really nail it in, because I'm not joking, this guy got this situation like 5 times yesterday, where people were saying they had maxed out veiled Rivens. You cannot max a veiled Riven. You can only max it out when it's unveiled. So I hope that helps. Let me hit the stream and see what you guys are saying, just in case you guys have any questions or comments. Hey, hey, what's up, KLR? How you doing, man? I think I was talking about you the other day to my clan, man. Good guy. So yeah, so that is that's pretty much Riven mods. If you have any more questions about Riven mods, you can always hit up the wiki. You can literally just type in Riven mod Warframe wiki, and it'll pop up, and everything is right there. But I just kind of wanted to give it to you basically in the long story short. I mean, at this point, you guys should know what Riven mods are. If you are unfamiliar with Riven mods, I'll read from the wiki, and I'll kind of give a small synopsis of it. But Riven mods are special mods for primary weapons, secondaries, melees, arc guns, and sentinel weapons. They are completely unique, which that is true. They are completely unique. No two are the same, even if they have the same attributes, as the numbers will differ. So basically, what Riven mods are, they're a bunch of mods slapped into one mod, sometimes with a negative, sometimes without a negative. What is probably in the wiki, but I can just explain it to you, is that having a negative on or off the Riven does determine the benefit or lack thereof that the Riven is going to offer to you. If it has a negative, the benefits are going to be a lot higher. If it does not have a negative, they're going to be not as high. So if I did not have a negative, for example, on this one, you'd probably be looking at like 200 and something damage, and maybe like 100, maybe 80 toxins, something like that, something along those lines, right? If you want more information on this, like if you really want to get in there and crunch the numbers, you can actually head to simlar.com. Let me spell that out for you guys. This is a great resource. It's right here, but I'm going to make it nice and big because I know some people watch from their phone. So you go to simlar.com. If you go to this website right here, that website right there, simlar.com, you'll see stat ranges. Hit stat ranges, and you pick your weapon. You pick how many positives it have. Does it have a negative, which is called a corruption, or is it corrupted? And that puts a negative on it. And boom, it'll give you all the stat ranges. And this is based on pretty much since the day Rivens came out, and it's on the money. I don't think you can get more on the money than simlar.com if you are getting into the Rivens. Particularly for these new weapons, if you want to know what they're going to offer, I would not be surprised if they're already on there and 99% accurate. So simlar.com, if you want to know about the Brahma, the Nucor, because they have them separated by Kuba Nucors. This is another thing to point out. Just one more thing to point out. Riven Disposition, okay? Now, Riven Disposition, actually I'm going to pull the wiki up for this one just to make sure that it's as understood as possible. Acquisition, because I can explain it, but I think it'd be better to go through the wiki on this one with you guys. Where are we looking? Where is it at? Come on. Attributes. Nope. Disposition. There we go. So the randomized attributes for Riven mods are affected by disposition, a stat multiplier provided by the system that collates the usage popularity of a given weapon across the entire player base. I'll explain what they mean in a second. Disposition strength controls the range of the attributes available for each weapon. Disposition, this is the part I didn't have the exact numbers for, but dispositions can be any value between 0.5 and 1.55, but in game it's basically just 1 to 5. So this one would be a 4, but in real life it's like a 1.3 or 1.25 or something like that, right? Anyway. What they mean by that is this little bar right here I get this question a lot actually. This bar right here is based on how popular the weapon is. Now, it means that if you go to your profile, because I really want you guys to understand this, if you go to your profile, and DE has this data, so this is what they base it on. So if you go in here and you hover over a weapon, there's a usage percentage right there, right? when you take the average of that percentage across every single player that they have and you come up with an average, that's where you get that graph. And based on that graph, that's what's going to determine the actual disposition. So it could be in your inventory, but are you using it? So based on if the majority of people are using it, you're going to see a lower disposition. So in this case, the twin Comac, it has a low drop rate. It's a twin Comac. No one talks about it ever, so it's got a relatively high disposition. The comb, and this is why I was using the comb. I don't like using weapons that everybody uses, like ever, and I never did. But this one has a relatively high disposition. Now that everybody and their mama's using it, you are going to see this disposition. You might, I'll say might. You might see this disposition change, depending on how many combs you see. Now, Kuva combs, on the other hand, let me make sure this is clear. Just because it's the same weapon, technically, doesn't mean it's the same weapon. It literally has to be that weapon. That weapon has its own disposition. For example, you could use the same Riven, same exact Riven, but it's going to have lower stats. So the comb Riven on here, 211, 136, and a three-star disposition, right? Whereas on the regular comb, with a 5-star disposition, instead of 211, you're looking at 296, 199. See what I'm saying? So that's what disposition can do to you. That's what disposition does to the Riven. So keep that in mind. And the disposition is not a number, not the disposition, but the Riven numbers aren't something set by like DE, like if it's this, it's got to be this. If it's this, it's got to be this. No, it's the way it works is they can literally go in and change the disposition of a weapon, and your Riven will change in essence. That's how that works. Okay. Lastly, I'm not going to get into the dots. Just know the smaller the dot, the weaker the Riven. The more dots, the stronger the Riven. And it is based on the popularity of the usage. So the more you see people in the game using that weapon actively, the more you see that weapon being used, the more likely that Riven is going to get nerfed. Just to give you a heads up, because they have to keep it fair across the board. I don't blame them on that. I actually agree with that. Other than that, you can actually access this disposition list. You could get a list and see what your weapon is at on 2 different locations. You can find it on the wiki under Riven mod. The same article is at the bottom. Or you can actually go to Simlar.com and it's there as well. Under stat ranges too. It'll show you your disposition when you go check the stat ranges. Other than that, I feel like I did this video for a little bit too long, but it was a little bit more information than I thought was going to be in it. But I definitely hope this helps you guys out, so that when you're shopping for these Riven, for these weapons, you know where to go, you know what you're looking for, you know what to expect, and you know how. And also, last little tidbit, go to Simlar.com. You can check the prices on your Rivens. There's various other resources, but do that before jumping into the Riven game, because if you've been playing this game for as long as I have, then you know what the trade chat is like. There's honest people, but there are way more people who need plat. Then they're gonna prioritize the plat over honesty, or prioritize the plat over being fair, and stuff like that. So if you're gonna pay 1,000 plat for a 30 plat Riven, they're gonna take your 1,000 plat. They're not gonna say no to that. So for the people who are new to this or getting into this, when you go to buy a Riven, if you're going to go buy a Riven, check the price first. Check the price first and then go buy the Riven. Don't screw yourself. If you pay more at this point, because if you saw this video and then you went and bought a Riven for more than it was worth, at that point, it's on you. But I hope this helps you guys out. Once again, thank you for watching. This is CS with DWP. This is Wednesday, Warframe Wiki Wednesdays. Another little tidbit straight from the source. Y'all take it easy. If you liked the video, don't forget to like and subscribe. If you didn't like the video, let me know what you didn't like about the video, and I'll be sure to be on top of that ASAP. Thanks for watching. Love you guys, and peace out of 5,000. On to Railjack. Woo! Update 27, baby!